Hi friends, my name is Heather. I am the owner of HotPoshFashions. I am a part-time reseller on platforms like Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. And today I'm going to talk to you about tips that I wish I knew when I was first starting reselling. So if I could go back to the very first day that I started on Poshmark. If I go back to the very first day that I opened my Poshmark account and decided, hey, I'm going to list something. These are the tips that I wish I had known. So if that sounds interesting to you, be sure to stick around because we're going to get in real deep into some tips. Okay, so tip number one is source for free. So what do I mean by source for free? So there's a couple of things that you can do to source for free. You can source in your own home. So go through your house, your closet, your spouse's closet or significant other, your children's closets. Go through all those things, not only looking for clothes, but look for substantial toys or collectibles or things like that you just don't need or want anymore. And start there. List those things. You have no commitment into, as far as the financial commitment into starting with free inventory like that. The other way to get free inventory is to ask your friends and family. So your close friends and family, just let them know, hey, I think I'm going to try to start up this business of reselling stuff online, and I just wanted to see if you wanted to donate anything to me, anything you were thinking about dropping off at Goodwill. If you wouldn't mind dropping it off with me, that would be great. And there you go, free inventory. Next step for getting free inventory, once you've directly asked your close friends and family, is to make a post on social media. So make a post on your social media letting people know that you have started a business online and that you are in search of their gently used clothing, shoes, accessories, or whatever else it is you want to sell. So this is the point of where you can be asking for it for free, or you can offer to pay for it. But it's a quick, easy way to get things. The only thing is to be wary to make sure that if you do end up paying for stuff, that you are getting quality things, because that's when you want to start. Once you start investing money, you want to make sure that you're getting things that you can profit off of. You don't want to pay someone $20 for a trash bag of clothes and only have one thing in there that you can even attempt to sell. So you want to make sure that you've gone through things and really make a good amount of money off of it before you put any money into it. So those are kind of ways you can get free inventory. And start there because you have no investment so far. You can start with your iPhone or your cell phone camera and just find a nice natural light area in your home, and just lay down a flat bed sheet or something like that. And you can start with either a flat lay, or you can just hang items on a hanger against a light colored, solid colored wall and start there. So that is no investment into your inventory. Okay, so once you take these pictures of these things that you so far haven't putting any investment into, so you don't have things like lights and mannequins and all this stuff, you're just taking it on a hanger or flat on the floor, use an app called Photo Room. And the app Photo Room, you can remove the backgrounds. It also will size it to whatever platform you're using, so that you have the correct size, and you can remove the background and make it white, just a solid white. Google has told resellers that a solid white, crisp, clean background is the best background to show up in their search engine. So if you want to show up in Google's search engine, that's the best way to go, is to have a nice clean white background. Also, when you're taking these pictures, put your camera into square mode. That way you're sure that you're getting the entire garment. If you take the picture in like a normal photo mode where it's kind of like the length the height and width of your screen, then when you go to crop it for the platform, you'll lose part of your picture, either the top or the bottom. So if you switch your camera into square mode, it will be taking it in the correct format for all the platforms I know about. So I think most platforms use a square. So that's probably the best way to go ahead and take your pictures and then remove the background and then go ahead and put them online. Tip number 2 is to start your inventory system right off the bat. I don't care if you have 5 items, go ahead and start an inventory system. If you're just using one tote box, go ahead and start an inventory system, because what's gonna happen is next thing you know, you're gonna go from 10 items in your store or your closet to 1,000 items in your closet, and you're lost. It was probably about the 200 to 300 mark of where I realized I needed to do something. So prior to that, I was just putting things in boxes based on size. So I had like 3 big tote boxes, and all my smalls were in one, all my mediums were in another, and all my larges and plus sizes were in the third box. And that kind of grew to multiple boxes and multiple areas. No inventory system whatsoever other than that. So when I sold something, if it was a size medium, I went and looked in the medium box, which was just a hodgepodge of mediums. And things kind of started getting put in different places and here and there. And next thing I knew, I started having a lot of trouble finding things. I would be spending a lot of time looking for stuff as opposed to being able to just go straight to what I need. And that time was being wasted. So, and if you have to look at it as that time is money. So if you're spending a lot of time searching for an item that you're making, $10 on, say you're making $10 profit on this item. You don't want to spend a lot of time looking for that item. Even if you're making $20 profit off of an item, you don't want to spend a lot of time looking for it. You want it to be right there. You've sold it, you want to pack it and get it out. So discover an inventory system. I'll tell you a little bit about what I do as far as my inventory system. Immediately after an item is photographed, it is folded, placed in a poly bag, and a sticker is put on it with a SKU number. It's a 4-digit number. You can buy these stickers on Amazon, and I will have them in the description below. But I take a picture of the item in the bag with the sticker of the SKU number on it, and it's with the other pictures of that item. So when it comes time to list that item, I can put in my listing the SKU number directly into my listing, whether it be on eBay or Poshmark. Mercari, as far as I know, doesn't have a place to put a SKU number, but eBay and Poshmark do. So I put that right in there so that when it comes time to when the item sells, I can see that SKU number, and I know through my inventory system exactly where that particular item is. And the way I know that is that after I take that picture and after the listing is made, those items go into boxes. Okay, so I have boxes on carts, on like stacking carts, and they are what do they call, like legal boxes, and they are all they are all lettered. So I have numbers for my SKUs and I have letters for my boxes, but then my letters kind of double. So I have like A through Z, and then I have like double A through double Z, and now I'm on the triples. So triple A, I think I'm like in G's or something for the triple letters. So what I would do, I use a thing called Tote, T-O-T-E, which you can get on Amazon, which I will have a link down in the description for also. So what Tote is it is QR stickers that you put on the box, and then you get a free app. So really the only investment with Tote is you purchase the stickers, and I think you get like, I don't know, 100 for $20 or something like that. I don't remember, 20 for $20. I don't remember the number, but you get a pack for however much money, and you have these little QR stickers, and you put one sticker on the box. And then you use the free app that comes with it, and you scan that sticker and you label it. So like I would put like I call them banker boxes. So banker box A, banker box B. So each one would get its own thing, and I know it's in. And the reason I put banker boxes because I do have a couple other storage things. Like I have a couple big totes. I have a couple other things that aren't necessarily banker boxes, but mostly banker boxes. And then you open up that box, that digital box in the Tote app, and you put your SKUs in there of whatever is in that box. So now when you go looking for that item, say it's item 1, 2, 3, 4 that you just sold, you sold it on Poshmark, eBay, wherever it says 1, 2, 3, 4, you go to your Tote app, you open it up, you type in 1, 2, 3, 4, enter. It's going to bring up and tell you that item 1, 2, 3, 4 is in Banker Box F. You can go straight to Banker Box F, open it up, and find item 1, 2, 3, 4. There might be 10, 15, 20 items or so in that one box, but you've narrowed it down. One other thing I like about doing it this way, as opposed to another way I've done it, is I currently actually have it like this. I have a big box that is all jeans, and it makes it hard to find the exact pair of jeans I'm looking for. So I kind of like this better in that things are really mixed up, because when you're looking for a certain color or print or pattern or jeans, and you have 10, 15, 20 things in this small box, the pair of jeans you're looking for, there's probably only one pair of jeans in that box. Or there's probably only one floral top in that box or whatever, because you've got things kind of mixed up. And it makes it really easy to go to that one box, open up that one box and grab the one thing you need. Easy peasy, super fast, and you're done. Okay. So the other thing you can do if you don't want to use Tote, which you don't necessarily have to use, is that you can also, next to your SKU in your SKU option on your listing in eBay or Poshmark or wherever you're using, next to the SKU, you could put a space and then put the box. The only thing with that is you have to know what box you're putting it in when you're creating the listing. Because I use a photographer and a photographer to take my photography and a virtual assistant to create my listings, and then I or my daughter put things in boxes, in inventory boxes, it would be almost impossible for us to do that. We would have to go back and find each listing that's already been created and figure it out, and it would just be a hassle. So we use Tote. It's not that expensive. It's just a one-time investment, and you can just keep reusing it and reusing it and reusing it forever. So it's not that big of an investment to make to be able to use that service. It's really good. So, but like I said, you could always, if you didn't want to do that, if you're the only one doing everything, then you could just put the number or the box, whatever you're calling your box, next to your SKU number in the SKU line, and that would work. But the one thing to think about when doing that is you never know what's going to happen. So had I started doing it that way, I would have eventually had to change it, because now I have a photographer and a virtual assistant, and there's no way for that information to, carry over through all these multiple people kind of laying their hands on the project. So eventually I would have had to transition to this anyways. And as you grow, if you do grow into a business, everyone always eventually need help. So if you're going to eventually need help, you might as well start thinking about that at the beginning. Like, how can I make this a system so that when I do need help in the future, the system works for someone other than me? It can't just be like organized chaos where I know where it is, but nobody else does. Because if you're the only one that knows something, then you're the only one that can do it, and you can't delegate it to anybody else. And eventually your time will become very precious, and your time needs to be spent on the things that truly only you can do. So that's where you need to really be thinking about that going forward. So my number 2 would be to start your organizing of your inventory from the get-go. That is my number 2 tip. Also, with that comes probably my number 3 tip. We're going to just feed on into that. And that would be to have your inventory somehow digitalized. In other words, in a spreadsheet of some sorts where you know what you have, how much you have of it, the size, the color, the category, what SKU number it is, what the cost of goods were, and then eventually what you sell it for and what the profit was. So Poshmark kind of has a good way of keeping up with this for you a little bit, in that there is a place where you can put cost of goods when you're creating a listing in Poshmark. And eventually, once the listing is fully sold and everything, it will go ahead and adjust all that and give you your numbers. The only problem with that is it doesn't always calculate items that are sold in bundles very well at all. So you would need to go in and manually adjust those. But here's the problem. That's great if you're only going to use Poshmark. You know, you can get your information from Poshmark, but if you're going to do anything else and you want things to kind of intertwine with each other, so that your one business and all of these are just tools that you use for your one business, then you want to have one central location of where all your inventory is being tracked and you know how much you paid for it and how much you're making off of it and what's selling and what's not selling. And you want that kind of all in one place. So go ahead and start a spreadsheet. Start at the very beginning. Day one, you know, you just went around your house and got 10 things to list. Put those 10 things in. If you don't have like SKUs or anything like that yet, just grab you some Ziploc bags, put each item in a Ziploc bag, use a marker and write a number 1 and a number 2 and a number 3. Get you a box, whatever, put that stuff in a box and label it box A. You're done. Now get you a spreadsheet. Put your 10 things in that spreadsheet. Put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, what their SKUs are, what they are, the sizes, the colors, the brands. Are they jeans? Are they a dress? Whatever. Cost of goods, 0. And they're all in box, what? A. So there you go. Start at the very beginning. And then when you get to the point of where you are selling daily and shipping daily and sourcing daily and you have help through employees, then you already have that all set up and ready to go. So that is my number 3 tip. My number 4 tip is to just go ahead and cross list. I know you just started, but go ahead and cross list anyways. There is free software called Flyp, F-L-Y-P, and it is down in the description that you can use for cross listing. So now that you're just starting off, it's not a perfect system. Flyp does have some flaws, but for free and for starting, that's the way to go. Eventually, I would recommend a different software program, but that's good to start with no investment. And you can start cross-listing on multiple platforms. At least hit up eBay and Poshmark and maybe Mercari too. I think that those would be kind of where I would start is Poshmark, eBay, Mercari. That's where I am right now, and that's a comfortable place to be. I wish I had started cross-listing much sooner than I did, and the reason I didn't start cross-listing is because I really didn't want to invest in a program to do it, and I definitely didn't want to invest in time to do it. So I just stuck with Poshmark. I was also a little bit terrified of eBay shipping, but now that I've learned it, it's really not that bad. So I do recommend eventually getting on eBay. But when Flyp Seller Tools came out, and it was free and you could cross list, that's when I started cross listing. I have since moved to another program called PrimeLister, and I will do a video coming up about PrimeLister. But if you are just brand new, that is a great way to start, just to get your feet wet into cross listing through Flyp for free. That is tip number 4. Be sure to cross list. Tip number 5. Tip number 5 for a brand new person interested in possibly having a reselling business, either as a side hustle, a part-time business, or a full-time business, is to take in all the information that you can. So start binge watching YouTube. There is a wealth of knowledge out there and it is free. So get onto YouTube and start looking at what resellers are saying. Look at what they're buying, what they're selling, how much they're making when they sell it. Look at the brands that they're picking, the styles that they're choosing, the colors that they're looking at. Make sure you study the upcoming season's fashion trends and know the classics too. Find out what is going to work for you by kind of glancing through your local thrift stores. So we haven't gotten to the point of where I would really like you to put a whole lot of investment in, but it might not be a bad idea just to go through your thrift stores and see what they have. What do you have access to in your area, and start figuring out where there are thrift stores that you have access to and what their prices are like, to kind of compare that to what resellers on YouTube are saying. Lots of times when they create what's called a haul video, they will tell you where they got the item, generally speaking, and how much they paid for it. And sometimes they'll tell you how much they expect to make on it also. So those are great videos to look at what people are buying and how much they're paying for it, to kind of get an idea of what's in your area. The next good thing to look at are the what sold videos, because you're going to see like what exactly is selling at that moment of time and how much is it selling for and how much profit is being made. The other things you want to look at are bread and butter videos, videos where people are talking about the brands that they find on a regular basis that help run their business. And then you can start learning about what's called BOLO brands. Be on the lookout. So those are brands that you want to, if you want to know, so that if you come across one of these gems, you know to grab it, or at least look into it enough to make sure it is worth grabbing, and then grab it. To be honest with you, it's a very rare occasion that I don't grab a BOLO brand. I mean, it would have to be pretty rough. So that is my fifth tip, is to start learning. YouTube is a great resource. There's a lot of smart people with a lot of experience. So figure out whatever area you want to be in, whether it be clothing or collectibles or whatever, and just go onto YouTube and start soaking in all that information from the resellers there. That is tip number 5. Okay, so thanks so much for hanging out with me. This was my 5 tips for a brand new reseller online. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you are interested in becoming a reseller, or if you're already a reseller, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you get updates for notifications of new content that I put out. I am a reseller. I own my own business. I would love to share my experiences and my journey with you so that I help you grow your business. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the like button. And thanks so much for coming around, and you have a blessed day. Bye.